What's your game plan when selling your self storage facility? I'm Jim Ross. He's Matt VanHorn. And this is 3 Mile Domination, where we talk about anything and everything regarding the world of self storage. Hi, everyone. This is Jim Ross from 3 Mile Domination, and this is episode number 18 of the 3 Mile Domination Show. And in this episode, we have Michael Mele. He's the Senior Director of Marcus Mele of the National Self Storage Group. And he's going to be the vendor spotlight today, and we'll go into this here. So, how are things going, Michael?
Great. Things are well. I appreciate the opportunity to join you this afternoon.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, kind of give us a quick intro.
Well, I am Chap and started the Mele Group back in 2000. So I joined Marcus Mele and got into the industry, an advisory group, primarily in the brokerage side for our clients. We've sold over 23 connections for our client success, as we like to call it. And we're advisory from the beginning to the end, long term, what's best for them. It's not always selling, it could be refinancing, it could be building a new property, it could be JV. We handle all those aspects for our clients.
Sure. And then you got to work with, again, on my side of doing a lot of owners here on the West Coast, but I've had a number of locations that have sold under your Marcus Mele, and it's been very easy. I've had some times where it's just it's a nightmare to deal with, and it's crazy. You guys have been great.
Well, that's what we do. We make it easy. We have we have a team of 15 people, 8 of which are back office, 7 of which are brokers. So you really don't have to do much of anything. I mean, we handle all the dirty work, so to speak, from your end.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, it just seems like storage is. Again, I've been in the industry for 20 years now, and it just seems to be going crazy with development and buyouts, and it seems like people are changing names all the time. It's just been a crazy market right now.
It's definitely an industry in transition. We're seeing consolidation. We're seeing sort of the smaller mom and pops kind of exit the industry or merge with other people. We're seeing new institutional money come into the industry, so that's changing. It's just not while that percentage is technically still fairly low in the overall number of facilities, but when you start looking at your major markets or your more dense areas, it's much harder for those small individuals to hang on against the competition of the REITs and the large groups. We're also seeing an enormous amount of development that's starting to come out of the ground. The question is it too much? We'll see. And
it seems like every time I turn around, there's a new there's new development going on.
Yeah, and initially it was just in the big markets, but now we're starting to see it in the secondary and tertiary markets where the rents aren't quite as high and the numbers are much thinner. But we'll see how it goes. But is in the works. I mean, that's an enormous amount of new construction for one market.
Oh, it's crazy. I've been very familiar with the Denver market, and oh my gosh, it's insane what's going on there.
And Denver's another one that's really on the verge of being overbuilt right now. So
yeah. So that being said, in certain of these areas are kind of getting overbuilt. If I was a investor and that self storage is the hot investment to go into, I guess this really depends on doing your homework and finding out the correct market if it's going to be your first facility to build. Of course, is making sure you're building the right market in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it boils down to what's in your 3 mile circle. If
Yep.
you've got 2 others being built, you're going to have a concern. If you have none and you've got a high density population, high incomes, probably be fine. So you really have to do your homework and make sure that you're doing it right. The last run up A lot of people didn't do it right. They did not pick the right sites. They didn't have the frontage. They built them too small,
Yep.
and they ran into problems when things got competitive and they couldn't hold on. So hopefully we won't see that again. But we'll see.
Yeah, as long as if you do your homework right before you get into it, it should be okay. But like you said, that's where we come in a lot of times with a management company is that they've built in the wrong places and that's too highly competitive and they can't hack it.
Right.
So they have to hire their professionals to come in and do everything they can
Right.
to sustain and make it a success. It's been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, management is the key. I mean, it's
Oh,
so competitive there
totally.
now that the days of just opening the doors and putting a retired couple in there and not
Yep.
worry about it and add to the yellow pages are long, long behind us. And if you're not marketing properly, if you're not managing your revenue properly, for the price that you would pay to get in today, it could become very difficult.
Oh yeah, come and bite you. And that's honestly that's why 3 Mile Domination is around.
Hmm.
And we're kind of definitely more tailored towards that kind of mom and pop places, independent owners that are going against the big boys and
Right,
having the tools and everything they need to be able to compete.
right, right.
Um, and I guess that kind of being said, if you were coming into the market now and you're building your first site, are you seeing very many people with that's kind of like their exit strategy of trying to make it a great facility and then eventually just selling it out to a REIT?
Well, yeah. I mean, almost everybody we talk to is exit strategy is to sell it to a REIT at some
Yeah.
point. Possible. The REITs can only buy so many facilities, and
Sure.
the reality is probably only 10% of what's being built is something they even look at. So
True.
that's another thing that really I think they need to look at when they're going in is that a realistic exit strategy? But a
Yeah.
lot of people are. Most of the people we talk to that a plan. It's definitely changed again over the last 10 years, where most of this was built just to run and to own for a long period of time.
Sure.
With the institutional money and that's coming in and these more sophisticated financial people that are building, they have an exit strategy right away. 5 to 7 to maybe 10-year holds are all part of the program
Yeah.
going in, and that also includes what are we going to do with it at that time. And then there's a whole other group of people that are just building them to sell at CO or right at stabilization because there are buyers for that. I mean, the REITs have said we can't build, we're going to have to buy.
Sure.
So we'll pay a premium for CO property. So it's a way that a lot of these guys who built portfolios back in the old days, but now really can't compete management-wise, can sort of generate new streams of income by just essentially being merchant builders.
Yeah, good. That does make sense. I've dealt with some owners with that exactly in mind before they even built. They had
Right,
that exit strategy in mind of okay, we're gonna sell out. In
right.
fact, I just had one this last week, sold to public, and there you
Mm.
go. That's
Well, I
you
mean,
got what do you want?
we probably is 1 to 2 new development projects a week for various people that are thinking of building or are building, and that's always something that's part of the analysis of what are we going to do, what's it going to be worth at CO, what's going to be worth at stabilization, and what's it going to be worth down the line.
Sure, sure.
That's a big part of their thought process.
And a lot of people I've are viewing these videos and then contacting me. They've been around for quite some time. They're stabilized. They're making good income, but they have death on the horizon. They want to end up selling, and just
Hmm.
kind of putting myself in the place of an owner. Like if they're thinking, a year out from now, I want to be in the position to sell and list my facility. What can they kind of be doing now to start preparing and hopefully get the best?
Well, there's a couple things. First is you want to get the property looking its best. So whatever deferred maintenance aspects that you have, you want to address. Now there are some things like roofs that maybe that could be left for part of the negotiation at sale because it's a large expenditure that you're not necessarily going to get back. But painting the painting in the areas that you could see, making sure they're kept clean, the little fix-its that need to be done, make sure that they're done. So when a potential buyer comes up, he sees it not as a C property but a B property, or not as a B property but an A property. They feel that it's a good it's worth spending a little more or a lower cap rate. But really where most people run into trouble is on the financial side.
Okay.
They have people that have been discounting, that they never raised their price. They need to be pushed, or they've just been too afraid to push rents to the current market because they're afraid people are going to move out. Also, they have family units that they don't charge for. Or in some cases, there's income that they're not officially accounting for.
Mm-hmm.
So the key is to get your books straight, get rid of, to make things easy, get rid of all the personal stuff on the expenses. Make sure you've got all your rents in and up to date and pushed, and maximize that revenue. 5%, every $10,000 is a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So it's important that that is squared and there's a good trailing history of it, because it's hard for us to come in and say, okay, we're going to list it, but all this is here and this isn't here. And there is some upside to it, but it's hard to get dollar for dollar. If you have that all set up, say, we've been doing this now for 6 months, 8 months, a year. Now we can really push that price on that income. And also on the expense side, go over all your expenses. Where can you save some money? The LED lighting. Go through all your vendors and make sure you've got a good price. Get those down. Again, it doesn't seem like a lot when you say, oh, 1,000 here, 1,000 there, but it adds up a lot.
It adds up.
Yes, significantly. And a lot of people are just reluctant to do all that, but it makes a big difference.
Oh, huge. Again, I've seen been on that end of it where the owners are looking to sell, and again, we just sat down, rolled out a checklist about a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Of all, like you said, of all the maintenance needed to be done, making sure, at least when I was managing, of course, all their rate increases are being done properly. But yeah, making sure all that's in place. Your rent exemptions are little to none. All your comp units are taken care of. It's
right.
That's always a hassle.
And we offer that service free of charge. We call it our SA program, our strategic analysis program, where we come in and start. Here's the things you need to do to get to where you want to be, and we'll go through step by step. So many of our clients we've done that for, where it's always a long-term commitment with us. It's not about sell. Let's look at it. Where can you improve? Where are the things you need to do? Let's make sure that it's done right, not done quickly, and work with them over time to get that done so that they maximize it. An example of a guy in South Florida who had a larger portfolio, and we worked over a year and a half. There were certain stores that had occupancy issues. I looked at it, with him, and there was definitely some capital improvements that needed to be done. We did those. We moved some managers around. We got rid of some of the stuff, and again, a large portfolio. But the initial analysis was about $50 million. We ended up selling it for $91 million. So it was a huge difference. So if you could get that much more, even a percentage, if you're $5 million, you get to 7 or 8. That's a lot of money, and it's worth the time and effort to do it.
Oh, exactly. So the major key is So even if it's on the horizon of even thinking of selling, call professionals to come in and lay out a game plan.
So a lot of it's not really going to be today. But again, when you go to sell it, it does matter on the price you're going to get.
No, of course. That's great. And I saw you guys just released 2016, what is it, the U.S. self-storage investment forecast?
We did. We have the company releases its national outlook forecast, which is available to our clients. You can either go to our website, melestoragegroup.com, or send me an email at mmele@marcusmillichap.com. And then we also released our end-of-year performance report, which is just going out now. We've got several reports and information through the year that go out to our clients. So if you go to either of those places, we can get you on the list to receive that on a regular basis.
That's great. And it has some great analytics of just really what's going on in each region and what this activity overall. It's a great, like I said, it's a free resource. So
right, and that's a great part of being part of a $1 billion publicly traded company. We have the resources, and Marcus & Millichap was founded with the idea that we're going to bring Wall Street type analysis and information to the Main Street clients, and that's what we do. I mean, we have this where before only institutional people could get this information. We make it available to our private clients, which in storage is still the majority of people.
Yeah, well, that's great. It's like 58 page or something like that. It's
that's extensive.
Oh,
we have a whole research department out in Phoenix that spends a lot of time gathering this information and putting it together.
Perfect. Well, great. Well, I think that's a good way to wrap this up. I really appreciate you taking the time and talking with us today.
Well, it's my pleasure to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, hope the major takeaways. Yeah, if you're looking to sell, call the professionals. So
that's right.
Where you step in. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jim. Have a great day.
Take care. Go to 3miledomination.com/call and schedule your free 30-minute marketing tune-up call. I'll give you solid advice you can easily implement with or without us. Until next time.